Ricky, happy Pride.
How's it going?
Hey.
Hey, happy Pride, Lane.
Okay. Thought experiment / social question / I don't know, something I've been bandying about with some friends.
Is this the catch-up thing?
Catch up? What?
Oh, okay. Never mind. You say your thing first.
What's We're catching up?
Sounds less dumb than mine. No. You say your thing first. You finish your thought.
Okay. Do men feel sexy? Do men do the most non-committal? Like, if you
comes and goes, you know.
A woman says like, "I feel sexy." Like, it's different than "I feel horny," right? It's a different feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
it conveys a specific experience. But do men also feel that way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd say maybe not in the same ways, and like not. I don't know. So like, at least the ways that I've observed it in women is that like, they'll be like, oh, like I feel so hot, like if like,
observed it like it's fucking planet Earth. You observed it.
It is planet Earth, man. Like they brought a pretty pebble home. They have certain feathers, right? Like they're just like no, but like a lot of like stuff around like, oh, like I feel hot is I mean, part of it is like dressing the part, right? Because and like I think like men also like the clearest byline between the two is like getting dressed up.
Yeah.
Like if you were to ask a guy like, hey man, like when you're wearing a suit, like do you feel hot? It's like, oh yeah, I feel sexy. Yeah.
Do they? I've never heard a man say that he feels sexy or feels hot. I've never said that. Or heard a man say that.
Well, because so that is like a guy saying that is kind of implicitly gay,
right?
Like it's like a
yeah.
It's like that's like a gay man thing, and like I don't think that it's like because I mean we've talked before a bit about how like sort of like the like gay culture is sort of reminiscent of like I don't want to say women culture, but like
you've lost the plot.
Kind of that.
Fast.
I have lost the plot. But I think that a lot of the ways in which a lot of the ways that like gay men sort of interact and like it's very different from how straight men sort of like process the world and whatnot.
I feel like part of it is that straight men don't like thinking that they feel sexy makes it seem like they're an object in a way that they don't identify with or like not that that's what it automatically means, but they want it seems more like the idea of like feeling sexy is like I feel wanted, like women want me, I look good, like, but it's not about I feel sexy, which is like a I think a distinct phenomenon, I guess, to women and gay men.
I think men also, I think straight men also experience, but gay men are the only ones willing to like admit it, right? Yeah. Because saying like, oh, like I'm attracted to myself, right? Or like even saying like, oh, like I think that I am hot, is like, again, like it's like implicitly gay, right? Like they're saying like, oh, like you think a guy is hot? It's like, all right, that's like the dumbest thing ever.
Came in the
me,
mail,
right?
Yeah, right.
Like,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, me personally, like there's like sometimes like just like the light in the bathroom is good or something, but I'll look in the mirror and be like, damn, I don't know,
in
man.
that bathroom.
Listen,
the lighting in that bathroom is so fucking terrible.
That one.
No, they're both bad.
Not the big one, the side one. The side one gets me sometimes.
The side one is so yellow. This is so crazy. You like the lighting?
I think that's what does it.
You like looking like a sallow, waxen creep. You like looking like fucking Nosferatu.
I was gonna say it's because I'm too waxen without it, right? It's like I'm all white and like blue-blooded veins pouring through, right? So like getting some of that shielded a bit by the color of the room helps.
It's like a blue light filter,
and it's like very warm lights. Right? Well, it's the opposite. It's like an orange light filter. You know, I'm like a chicken. I need a big red light over me. You know,
you got to put on the like movie theater 3D glasses to look at Ricky if you want to see him attractive.
That's what I have both. When I got the red light going and the blue light going, that's when you can see me in stereoscopic vision. Yeah. But no, I think men definitely experience it 100%. And I mean, I kind of like counterpoint. I think a large part of the reason that like men get like body dysmorphia is because of that. Where they'll think like, oh, like I look hot, like in this particular like they'll find a time that they're like, oh, I look hot here, right? And it's like a particular pose, or like it's just like a period of time or whatever. And then like they chase that high, and they're like, oh, well, like if I bulk up a little bit, like and like a lot of that is like, I mean, I don't think that's all like preening for like others, like a lot of that is very like self-centered, and I think not for all of them, right? Because a decent portion of it is just like signaling, but like I do think that that's like an experience shared by men,
shared by, but just not willing to admit it, I think, or they don't vocalize it in the same way.
Yeah, and I think it's also like they're much less inclined to think it, right? And I think you kind of have to be like, because you have to be comfortable enough with yourself to be able to like look at yourself like semi-objectively and be like, oh, like maybe I do kind of look okay here. And like that's like the very first step before being like, you know what, yeah, I'm hot. Yeah. So it's, I don't know, I don't think that men are, I don't want to say trained. I mean, they're not trained. They're all dogs, but they're not like socialized to. They're not socialized to like think that, or and especially not to say it, right? So
yeah, it's interesting because when you go out, if you're going out, you're going dancing, you're going to meet people at a party, whatever, like you gas up your girlfriends. You talk about how you think you look good, you talk about how they look good, whatever. But like I've never heard like in a mixed group.
No, guys don't do that.
Yeah, I've never heard that from
guys would never do that.
Yeah, which is, it's just sad. Yeah. Too bad.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
Fucked up.
Guys can't do it. It just doesn't happen.
Sucks.
You can do it if it's if you like push it into like ironic territory, right?
Yeah.
That's when it's safe, right? Because now
it's a joke.
Now you're mocking gay people, right? Because it's like, oh, like I'm not gay. We all know it. You're looking hot today, buddy.
Yeah.
Like that's where it's like, oh, okay, now it's acceptable, right?
Wait,
but even that is like, huh?
I have a recently developed hypothesis about dick humor as well. Not that these are semi-related.
Dick humor or ick humor?
Dick. Oh, dick. Dick with a big throbbing vein in it.
Yeah. Great. Big throbbing D. Yeah, you cut out there, and I don't know. I thought you were...
The Dick Squad. The Dick Squad.
Dick Squad.
Has it out for me. No, so I think that not all, of course, right? Socialize. Like,
disclaimer, humor. Not all, like, whatever group we're talking about.
Disclaimer. Right. No. No, I don't think that this is a gender essentialist thing, or I am not a gender essentialist. Mm-hmm. But I think a good chunk of why, like, men make jokes about dicks so much, and, like, women do not make jokes about genitals, or if they do, they're also making dick jokes. I think dick humor is so much more prevalent than like pussy humor, which isn't even a thing, because it's outside. It's an identifiable like symbol. Right?
Yeah.
Like that. I don't like. Everyone loves a good dick joke. You find something that looks like a dick, it's funny. It's just funny. You find something that looks like a vagina, and it's like nature. You don't necessarily like what you're gonna be like. This is a pomegranate, like I don't know, like it's not as easily like it when you see it, of course, but like there aren't as many things that look like a vagina, and like you can't use it as a prop.
I've seen Georgia O'Keeffe paintings, right?
Right,
so, like...
right. Your options are more limited, whereas like everything looks like a dick, and so like
I mean anything that's like a straight line. It's a dick, bro. Like, come on, easy.
And it's better prop comedy. If someone is if you're napping on the couch and someone starts stroking something against your face, because it's like a penis, like you won't do, like, it's not as funny, or it's like not as identifiable if you do something like more vaginal. I don't know. So this is in defense of dick humor.
How would you even do that? Like, are you
right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How do you like mime that? Yeah. Right? Like, yeah.
Like, let me take this like orange wedge. for the Ricky just like held up his hand. I was gonna say some sort of half-assed ASL like sign.
I was doing I was doing.
He was like fingering the pomegranate. What are you doing? Like,
I was just fingering my other hand, and I was like, there's like you can't. I don't know.
That was tough.
It doesn't work like that.
That was really tough. This is not a visual medium.
But it's not. It's but that's like a very human thing too. I don't know if you know like the oldest dick joke. But it's like what hangs at a man's waist is only useful when it's inserted. And like he uses it many times a day, and it's a key, right? like going in and out of house.
There's definitely older dick jokes.
I mean, there's definitely older dick jokes. That's like one of the oldest.
Geese have only been around for what,
that
like
I know. I guess
700 years,
right?
Maybe. Right? How long have dick or not dicks?
No. Keys have been thousands of years.
Thousands?
They had keys during the time of Jesus. Yeah. So, well, it was like older and like older style locks and stuff.
Older locks.
No.
They fucking locked up their underwear with. Yeah, back in Joseph Smith days.
No, they had locks before. I mean, they're kind of rudimentary, but like it look up a lock and key.
How old are keys? 4,000 years? See if you can fuck you.
Yeah. See if you can find an old one. See if you can find a picture of an old one.
There's no way. There's no way. I don't trust the Google AI overview. There's no way.
Meredith showed me one from ancient Egypt.
Shut up, Meredith. What?
Which was, shut up, Meredith. Yeah, so it's a smaller key, but this one is metal, A, and B, it's much smaller and it's way more intricate, but it's, and it was from, not like a full 2,000 years ago, but pretty close to it, which is, it's neat. I don't know. It's cool.
Oh, this one looks like a scorpion. That's cool.
But the really old ones were like wood and like essentially like you know like old like when you think of like a rustic tavern, right? They have like a piece of wood that gets slotted into another, and like that's what stops the door.
Yeah.
Right? It goes like that, and then you can't open it. They had that essentially, but they were fitted with like I don't know what to call it. I don't know, inserts, like keying inserts, so that you, from the outside,
Ricky's
right, there'd be a hole, you would have to put it in.
A whole lot of hand business here to try to, like, he's basically doing, like, the
I'm doing a whole hell of a lot of hand business. Yeah. But, like, there would be, like, a hole on the side that you would insert it from, and they would fit into, like, the proper position, and you would be able to pop it up, right? And, I mean, there were different designs for it, but some of them you would move the key back, and that would move that slotted tab out. And some of them you would just move it up, and that's how you would open the door.
This is We Want a Lock.
And a lot of them they were angled, so like it's like this, I guess. So it would go click when you close the door, and then like you can't push back open. This would need to be raised.
This is gonna. I have to cut all of this. You're doing so much hand business. No one's gonna know what the fuck.
You're talking. Of hand business.
You're like, you go like this, and then it goes. You're doing fucking key jutsu.
So many hand jobs. Call this a hand business, baby. I don't know where I was going with that one. I was working on it while I was saying it. Don't judge me too harshly.
This is We Want to Watch. Good rip. That's Ricky. I'm Lane. This is a podcast where we talk about movies that we want to watch. And this is Pride Month. Hey, actually, I have business before we get into it. Hey. I have so many businesses I need a hand job. Is that I
think that's the joke. That's the real one.
We'll workshop it. We'll hand job it.
Yeah.
I want to plug our Blue Sky. I don't think anyone uses Blue Sky.
I also don't think anyone uses Blue Sky.
But I will not make
like,
a Twitter. Right? And Ricky continues his year plus streak, 18-month streak of not doing anything for this podcast. So I've made a blue sky for our...
I'm the personality hire! Come on!
Yeah, you're about to be the personality fire. Our blue sky profile is We Want to Watch. It's spelled just like the name of our podcast. We have 4 followers, but I think they're all just spam people who follow everything, which is great. I don't know any of them, which means that none of them listen to the show.
4 is more than 0, right? So,
but if you if you use Blue Sky, follow us. If you don't, that's probably correct of you. So don't worry about it. Now, if you're on Letterboxd, you should follow me. You should follow Ricky, even though Ricky doesn't post because he doesn't do anything I ask of him. But anyway, plug business. Also, some new cities recently. We haven't done any city shout outs in a while, so we have a couple listeners.
Let's shout them out.
Los Angeles, somewhat there's a bunch of people from LA listening, and Fremont, California. I might know who those people are, but I don't know for sure. Burbank, Osaka, maybe someone from a year ago when I visited. Fredericksburg. There was someone from Germany. I'm trying to find the German city.
Is Fredericksburg, Virginia?
I guess. I don't know. RSS doesn't tell you the state. It only tells you the city name. So
interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
Oops.
Yeah.
Sydney, Australia. Shout out.
Huh?
Anyway.
Shout out.
If you're real, shout out. Okay.
Rest in peace, the Brussels shout out.
Yeah, fuck you, Brussels.
But thank you to that video scraper for introducing us to the wonderful city of Brussels and Jean Dielman. And also, I think kind of slightly related was News from Home. I think that was why we chose News from Home.
Same director, bitch. Yeah. Chantal Akerman.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Chantal Akerman. Yeah, you're right. Yep. I forgot about that.
All right. This week, we have 2 Pride picks. Pride picks. Continuing in our Pride miniseries. The first was The Birdcage from 1996, directed by Mike Nichols. And the second was All About My Mother from 1999, directed by Pedro Almodóvar. So, I picked these, one, again, trying to balance the tone, again, so doing a slightly lighter movie and a heavier movie, or just not double loading us up on one or the other. And I picked The Birdcage because it's kind of very well known, classic, gay text, big Robin Williams role that I had not seen. And then All About My Mother. I'm trying to kind of find a few different, broaden our horizons for important directors that we haven't covered thus far. And Almodóvar is one where, there's a lot of gaps in his filmography that I haven't seen, this being one of them. And so I was like, well, we'll do kind of a both and for that one. So, anyway.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I really liked The Birdcage. This is a really fun watch. It feels like a Thanksgiving movie.
Oh,
I maybe that sounds weird, but it feels like a movie that I would want some of my aunts and uncles to watch.
Yeah. No, I see that.
Just for them to be yeah.
It's like a family, you could definitely see this playing on cable around the holidays, and everybody kind of drops in and out because it's so episodic almost. There's there's obviously a plot, but yeah, you can kind of drop in and out.
But yeah. And I think it also just lends itself to being teaching a lesson in a such a soft way, which is really not, I mean,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's palatable.
Yes, and it can be very tough to teach people to be empathetic, or because you can't beg it out of them. You can't force them to care about other people. But especially with someone like Robin Williams on screen, it's easy for them to watch him and be like, oh man, maybe these gays aren't half bad. And it's wow, maybe you should,
care
about your fellow man,
It's true.
Fuck, dude, how difficult is that? But,
it's kind of funny. I mean, Robin Williams does have obviously like a whatever flamboyant or eccentric kind of screen persona, especially in the 90s around this time, but he is still aggressively straight. Like his other, you know what I mean? And so him playing this role, which he just slides right into, where he's a little bit more tempered. Like, obviously he's still doing his thing, but he's not the over the top one.
He's the restrained one.
Yeah. It
like,
works.
It's funny to see him playing the straight man in this, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in quotes, straight man.
Which, we just got to get it out of the way.
Huh.
He looks damn good. He looks so good in this movie.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I've never been like, that's a snack of a man there. But in this, he looks, especially with the, like the silk shirts that he does, like, you know, in the beginning.
Yeah. The clothes make the man. I was going to say the opening scene, right? And like, I feel like that's an outfit that like pretty much any guy, if you got him in an outfit like that and like had him like at a tailor or something, like looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
Well, he'd 100% be like, "Oh, I'm hot.
I look
like,
hot."
I look hot. Yeah.
But
but you need that. You would need to, and like it would have to be in like an old Italian tailor.
Yeah.
Like
you have to be tan.
Where it's like an old nonna that's like, you know, taking care of him, and like, because that way, you know, it's like it's a very like personal revelation for him, you know.
Well, he looks also like. This does, of course, that like style of dress has been around for a long time, but like now it's a walking red flag if a man looks like this. Like it works on him 30 years ago, but like, you know, if you see a dude with like the deep V-neck undershirt with the like unbuttoned silk, patterned shirt and the mustache, like the porn stash, you're like, oh, this man sleeps on a mattress with no box spring, just on the floor. Like
so, Well, I think it's worse than that. So like it was like that for a while, right?
Yeah.
Where I think that like it was like but like more and more now, it's like the male manipulator fucking
yes, that's what I mean.
Keeps getting updated.
He looks like that.
Yeah.
He looks like, who's the one streamer that I'm always like, what's this guy talking about? The one that
Hassan.
Yeah, the thirst traps one. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say he looks like Curtis Connor, which
I don't know who the fuck
maybe a little
that
bit.
is.
I don't know, not in the face, but
I'm looking. Hang on, I'm Googling this man.
Well, Curtis Connor has the same sort of... Maybe, probably not. But no, well, I mean, look at his style, more so than the guy's face.
Yeah, he's got a mullet and a mustache, like...
Yes, yeah. But his style is very much so the, like, oh, like, women can be comfortable around me. I'm like, what is it? Like, kind of hinting that I could be bi, right? Like, like it's one of those, like... There's like, oh, like, no, I'm so like progressive and like socially forward. Like, can't you see how deep my V-neck is? And then they're just like the most horrifically disgusting people to be around ever. And it's like, all right, cool, great, I guess.
No, I am familiar. Yes, the hinting at the possible bisexuality of it all is really, that's like a key thing. Yeah. Well,
that's like a carabiner as a keychain type thing, you know? That's like
Hey.
Huh.
I have a carabiner as a keychain.
Hey.
Along with my
fucking watch yourself. Hey.
along with my not to tell myself here, but I ordered as I described to you earlier, I've been grinding through the Fire Emblem's mobile game, or Fire Emblem. I just sounded like an old person. The Pokemons.
I've been playing the Pokemon
the Fire
on my
Emblems.
phone.
I've been playing the Fire Emblem mobile game to get whatever points for the Nintendo Rewards program. Anyway, because I wanted to order something, and to get free shipping, I had to top out at a certain dollar amount. So I was like, oh, they have a Mario Kart keychain. That's cute. I'll get that. Ordered it, whatever. Went to go to the gym today, grabbed my keys, realized I had a different Mario Kart keychain already and hadn't even remembered.
Oh my god.
I'm embarrassing.
Bro. Do you have both of them on it now?
Well, I haven't gotten the other one yet. I just ordered it today, but I will. Okay. It'll match my Rainbow Road license plate. No.
Nice. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Anyway, yes, the male manipulator look, I feel like he coined it in this. But he looks good. I mean, he looks great.
Yeah.
So does
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, So does Nathan Lane. I think he looks good too. He's like having a whole hell of a lot of fun. Gene Hackman too, also having a ton of fun.
Who's Nathan Lane?
Nathan Lane's the
Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane's Albert.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No. Yep.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got it pulled up. I wasn't just
Yeah. But no, I agree with you. I couldn't. I've talked about this before. Of like, I don't love comedies. Like sometimes I have a hard time with a comedy.
Yeah.
This was one of the like hardest I laughed. I can't even remember the last time I laughed out loud to a new movie this hard. I was like expecting like, it's whatever, it's gonna be cool. And then I was like every few 30 seconds.
I was laughing at it. It was great.
It's very funny.
Especially as it gets like into the end game of the movie, and like it's just like hijinks up to here, right? Like that's great. I think my favorite was like while or some of my favorite scenes are of like the daughter trying to convince Gene Hackman like to come over to
that everything's fine.
Like all of that setup is just so perfect. And like the so like what does he do? He's a cultural coordinator.
Yeah.
Like that sort of stuff. Like the very like and like just like the most carefully laid things. And then her mom says something which had me howling. They were talking about like the senator or whatever who like got arrested, and she was like, "Well, I'm sure Mr. whatever it is will understand that we never really associated with such a backwater hick like yada yada."
Yeah.
I was like,
there's a lot of
so good.
There's a lot of lines like that played straight, especially by the straight-laced couple of like these tossed off like incredibly over the top lines that are so funny. This screenplay is really, really good. It's I'm sure that there's a lot of like Nathan Lane and Robin Williams doing improv because I know that's their thing. But the lines that the straight-laced couple have, and then just like the way like that this is paced, where you're just like you never really have a chance to catch up because every other line, even the physical comedy, like the cinematography sometimes lays out like really funny physical comedy or prop comedy in the background. Like when they first show Gene Hackman and he has like a comically large American flag hanging over his shoulder when you first cut to him.
Yeah.
And then it shows him from another angle and he's got a picture on his desk of him shaking hands with Nixon. It's just like there's all of these little details that are just really, really funny. It's great.
Yeah.
Even
I mean the whole movie is like that too. It's just I mean like when they first show up and they walk in and like they've cleared the place out so like nothing offensive is there and it's
they're
just
like
the cross,
oh it's so
and he's like
empty.
I really
beautiful.
appreciate this. This is It's like maybe a bit sparse. Okay for a summer home though. And they're like summer home. I needed to keep my mind clear for my work. He's like I respect that man of religion. Right over the dinner table too. That's nice.
It's and it's like the biggest, most garish looking fucking crucifix you've ever seen. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah. It's like the cross that they nailed Christ to and then pulled up from the Dead Sea. It's like, all right, well.
Yeah.
But it's and then like 5 minutes later they have the like Greek bowls with just like it's just like all gay sex on it. And like them trying to like get the soup out in time for that. Really, really funny.
Lots of good gags. Yeah.
A lot of good gags in it.
There's a lot of really efficient characterization with the gags too, especially even the opening shot, which you mentioned earlier, like when Williams is walking through the club on his way up to Albert, and it shows him like he kind of sees somebody like drops the food and puts it back on the plate, and he kind of like rolls his eyes, and you see him talking to people and kind of making adjustments, and you can tell he's the boss. But just like you can get a sense that like, oh, this is not like your usual Robin Williams, like zany, peppy, kind of a whatever outsider guy. Like he is more subdued and a little bit more of a dick. And you get all of that even before he opens his mouth and starts talking to Nathan Lane or Hank Azaria. It's efficient, and the rest of the movie carries that too, just in the way the characters walk, the way they interact with the environment in the background. Like all of their performances have these little mannerisms that really lend to it. I mean, everything is singing in this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it reminds me of the one quote from the director who who's picking up movies in like the one Criterion Collection closet, and he goes, "Oh, like these are like artists in song," and he's talking about like
in concert with each other,
and, Do the Right Thing, and I think the Birdcage like really exemplifies that, because you can see like exactly where, like, I mean, maybe not exactly where, but you can see like where Robin Williams and Nathan Lane would like play off of the other actors, and you can see where like you need the like deadpan of the straight couple in order for them to be able to like play off of that. And it's especially great just seeing, I mean, like we said earlier, like Williams being like much more reserved. And like using that to like fire up Lane, and like, I don't know, it's fun, it's cool.
Has he ever played like an asshole? Like not a bad guy? I mean, has Robin Williams ever played like a bad guy? Like a villain? Insomnia? Spoilers? We should watch that movie. That's a fun movie.
I don't know.
I guess he played in 1 Hour Photo.
Movies that...
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I not that he was a bad guy in this movie, but I kind of thought of what was it? Mrs. Doubtfire, Paging Mrs. Doubtfire.
Paging.
Watching this movie. Is it not Paging? What is it?
No, it's just Mrs. Doubtfire. What the fuck? Paging Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire. Okay. Is it not paging? That's crazy. They got rid of that word. They just it's cleaner. Just leave it Mrs. Doubtfire. No paging. It's cleaner.
Who the fuck you get paging? Like it's paging Dr. Doubtfire.
That's what I thought it was.
That's an all-timer. Holy shit. Chat, clip that.
Yeah. I don't know.
He does play the villain, like in the like. Actually, this protagonist is the bad guy. If you think about him, it's not.
Yeah. It's like not a great guy in this situation. Yeah. But at the same time, it's also like he plays it really likably. So it's like it's hard to be like,
that's
his show.
Yeah, that's his magic. Guy. It's the same as Jim Carrey. Like I really like the movie Liar Liar. Have you seen Liar Liar?
Okay. Is that the one where he gets turned blue? But that's Big Fat Liar. I'm thinking of Big Fat Liar.
You're on a tear.
I haven't
seen
Liar Liar.
You are.
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy.
We should watch Liar Liar for this podcast. I think I might have it on the long list. It's one I've seen a billion times, but it's one of the. It's probably after The Mask, like his best like cut between the extreme, like way over the top, like The Mask, Ace Ventura. But then, like, not quite as serious as, like, Truman Show or Eternal Sunshine. Like, it's still zany Jim Carrey, but not, like, way fantastical. And so, it's very watchable. But he plays like a blood-sucking shithead lawyer, and he makes terrible decisions and, like, sucks in the movie. And that's the plot of the movie, of course. But you are charmed by him, because you're like, oh, I love Jim Carrey. It's great. I'll watch this.
Yeah.
Even though fuck Jim Carrey in real life, fuck that guy.
Is he not cool? I thought he was just like a weirdo in real life, like a lovable weirdo in real life as well.
This might be slightly controversial but like, so he played Andy. Do you know who Andy Kaufman is? We can't go down this fucking road. We'll double feature these two movies. Table this, and at some point in the future we'll do a Jim Carrey deep dive. Anyway,
I enjoyed his work as Dr. Eggman.
Yeah. You mean Robotnik?
Dr. Robotnik. His name is fucking Robotnik. Yeah, not Eggman.
Robotnik is the old name. Is he Eggman in the movies?
You know...
Please, my Friends call me.
That's a question for someone more knowledgeable.
Yeah. Hey, Switch 2 comes out tomorrow. You think they're going to put a Sonic game?
No way.
They'll have to, right?
Yeah. What?
Put a Sonic game on the Switch 2.
Oh yeah, they will. I did see something earlier. They're making like a Sonic racing game, and it's gonna have like all the SpongeBob characters in it, and
yeah, there's been
other random characters.
I think that's been around. I feel like there was one of those for like GameCube, maybe, or PC.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I don't even remember it. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
I'm kind of excited for that. I really want to play a SpongeBob racing game. I do want to mention.
Yes.
So, Lane forwarded me their notes, and you mentioned, yeah.
Go ahead.
You wrote, "Has he ever played a dick?" And reading that, I immediately thought you were using it like
a flute.
They were like played a dick. Yeah. Like the skin flute. Yeah. And I was like, I was like, all right. After I thought about it for a second, I was like, maybe they mean like a dick instead of like a dick.
Yeah, like a dickhead.
I was like,
yeah,
all right.
My bad.
Yeah. I was like, we'll have to wait until afterwards. And so when you said it here, you're like, like, I wonder, has he ever played like an asshole, like the bad guy? I was like, okay.
See, when I don't forward you my notes, I have this really finessed way of working in my points without it being verbatim or like I'm reading from a checklist the way that you would. So,
I know. Well, I do that partially because it's a bit to me, and also because I don't make like lists or checklists at all. So like the only way that I'm going to be able to slip it in is to
pause.
Just say pause. The only way I'll be able to work it into a conversation is by just saying it.
We should talk about the director of this movie before we get any further. Mike Nichols.
Okay.
Do you remember that name?
Oh, that makes me feel like I should.
Another prolific Ricky gets the title of this movie wrong all the time movie.
Silkwood.
Yes. Who killed Karen Silkwood?
Because I checked. Also, The Graduate. He did The Graduate.
Yes, he did do The Graduate. And another one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. So.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to watch that at some point. But, I feel like he has a very, like, an interesting style. I kind of feel like he has I don't want to say reserved, but like it's not the most flashy of, like, cinematography or anything. Like he's getting, obviously, these huge performances out of them. And he does that in some of these other movies, too. Silkwood, I wouldn't say is, like, a restrained performance from Kurt Russell or Cher or Meryl Streep. So I feel like he kind of gets like a little bit of a theatrical kind of thing from them. He has a background in improv with Elaine May, who wrote the script for this movie. So I feel like he has like a naturalistic but campy or like heightened like he elicits this out of his performers and out of like the sets and the way he shoots the movies, which I think you can see in both. Obviously Silkwood's a very serious movie compared to this one, but same idea.
I mean, he does a lot of show don't tell, right? And like I think it's like especially prominent in Silkwood, especially like as we like everything, like when like you just see like small hand movements of like, oh, like is that someone slipping her something? Is that someone like poisoning her? Is that not right? And like the fucking alarm, right? Oh, and just like the like
he evokes
on
panic
as she's like in the like it's like immediately like my own internal alarm bells are ringing. Like, please, for the love of God, I do not want to see that go off. And then like it does, which like it will, and it's like, fuck, man, that sucks. Yeah. And so like this movie also has like a lot of the same things where like you're eliciting a reaction, and the reaction here is more like, oh, these hijinks, oh no, like what's gonna happen? And then like and especially with like the mother of the kid, the 20-year-old kid, I don't know.
Oh, Christine Baranski. Do you remember do you know who she is? Speaking of Jim Carrey?
No.
Christine Baranski is my my original gay awakening. She's Martha May Whovier from fucking The Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh, no shit!
My
That's
style
crazy.
icon. Yeah.
Yeah, hell
she's hilarious in this too. She does so much with like
she's great.
A role that's really not very big. Like she doesn't have a ton to do, but when she's on screen, she's funny every single second. Like she's got like obviously like physical humor that she's doing. The way she like just walks is funny at certain points. Like the way she speaks on the phone. She really brings that character to life. It's great.
Yeah. The phone call on the recorder, so good. Yeah, that's so fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, when she's like, I mean, like the whole time you're like, well, like obviously, like she is going to get there, right? And it's like watching them like
it's
like
a ticking time bomb.
Put it up. It's like, all right, yeah, and it's like, well, that note's not gonna last, and then
like,
you get
to
watch it, like
immediately
take it away. It's like, yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and
then like she shows up, and it's like and it's like a lot of stuff that like it's like, all right, well, like yeah, it's obviously it's gonna happen, but it's still funny to watch it play out. You know, it's great.
Well, and you get so much characterization of her in that first scene where she meets with Robin Williams, and she's like popping the bottle of champagne, and she's like, I'm not exactly maternal, and she's got it between her legs, and she like yoinks it open. And so then you're like, even if she does show up, which she doesn't really get a chance at the end to show up other than like at the very, very end, she basically like, you're like, oh, this is going to be a disaster if she shows too. She can't even play straight. Like she can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she comes in wearing this like, at the end, she's wearing this like cream, like business dress type that it's so funny and like austere. It's like a, and I mean this with love, like, it's like an Instagram baddies like idea of like what a conservative like upper class person would wear. It's
I was gonna say it was like someone trying to emulate like Hillary,
yes,
Clinton,
and
just not really getting like what makes it like business, right? And then being like, yeah, this really is close enough, right? Like,
it's great. It's great.
Just like barely missing the mark though.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's excellent here, and I mean, yeah, it builds really well off of like how the director Nichols like just like works his scenes. I don't know, and like how I feel like all of his movies are paced like, or maybe not all of them, but the movies that I've seen are paced very similarly. Where like pretty much always it's like this scene is leading into the next, and like you're not going to miss. Yeah, like you're not going to miss the scene behind you because like we're going forward.
Yeah. That's
I don't know. I like that. I like a movie that moves quick like that. Yeah.
That's a good observation. Yeah. I do, because I remember one thing I didn't love about Silkwood was that it did feel a little bit too neat and melodramatic, but yeah, I mean it flows better here, and there's a lot more like the intensity plays better with this subject matter than it did with that. Because there's obviously melodrama in this, but it's also played for laughs. So
yeah, it's just, I mean, I think that movie is supposed to make you feel uncomfortable, and like it succeeds. Like I think he kind of nails it, right? But that like frenzied tempo, which like plays really well with like a fun upbeat movie where like you want a sort of like fun tempo where it's like, oh, like what's gonna happen next, oh, like versus like when you're watching like, oh my god, and like
she's gonna get
she
burned,
like what the fuck's gonna happen next, and then like you see Kurt Russell punch a guy and you're like, thank Christ, but that still doesn't help Karen, like what the hell, man. And then like she's even like the phone calls, like it's I'll stop talking about Silkwood, but yeah. It's just great. Can I mention here though the son?
Fuck that guy.
Fucking hated that guy.
He sucks.
Yeah,
get that fucking guy off the screen. Just
get
last
that
week,
guy off the screen. I was thinking that. Yes, we hadn't had one for a while. Yeah.
It was foreshadowing.
I was like, thank God, we've got to get this guy off the fucking screen. You know, like I breathed a sigh of relief while watching this.
When he was like, I'm 20 years old, I was like, this guy is easily 32 years old.
Yeah, like press X to doubt. But for me, it was the like he's like talking to like the guy who raised him, right?
He's a complete asshole to his parents. Yeah.
Oh,
tone it down.
Oh, yeah. But the worst part about it is that like he's asking something of them and being a dickhead. He's like, hey, you can't be yourselves, right? Like at that point, just say you're estranged. Just say you're estranged from your parents. There was like a weird situation. You're estranged, right? If you're not proud of like who you are and who your parents are, like, fuck it, man. Then like, you kind of have to make that cut, right? You like you're either in or you're out, right? You can't play both ways, like, you know, get off the fucking fence.
I wasn't anticipating.
It pissed me off for a lot of this movie about that.
Yeah. No, for sure. I wasn't anticipating it to be kind of that tension between the two of them being such like kind of like the driving force, like really the antagonist of this movie, and not. I don't mean this in like a. Actually, the boyfriend is the antagonist in The Devil Wears Prada. I don't mean it like that, but like. You know, the central conflict is not like, oh, we're going to resolve Gene Hackman's homophobia by the end of this movie. It's really about, like, I guess I didn't know enough about this movie going in to know that was going to be the central emotional conflict. And I was so anti-Son from the very fucking beginning. I was like, no, absolutely not. Yeah, but apparently this movie's a remake of a French movie from like 20 years earlier. So...
Oh,
which
interesting. Okay.
I vaguely knew that, but I'm kind of interested to know what the changes were. But maybe in the future we'll watch that. That could be fun.
Like a good watch. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like there's a lot of movies which are like, we're like, oh, like that seems really fun. It'd be like a good watch, but it's like so tangentially or like directly related to a movie that we're talking about that it feels like we could almost like make like a little like an episode where we go through like 3 or 4 movies that are like all connected to other movies. And
sure.
Like, oh hey, like you remember this? And like
it's all connected, man. Like, you should know this at this point,
dude. The numbers, what do they mean, man? But yeah, he pissed me off all movie, and then like his like redemption at the end, where he's like, actually, I'm proud of my family. This is the man who raised me. I was like, that makes your actions throughout the film even more deplorable.
Yeah.
Like, motherfucker.
And then, well, I have in my notes here, it's so sad when Albert, the Nathan Lane character, walks in his suit and tries to like straighten it up, like he's trying to be straight for them. I was like, which at first you're like, oh, it's going to be another like funny haha. And then it's like, there's no like goofiness. It's just like a struggle and painful and sad and like really crushing, like the whole,
And so even like the camera work there, right, and like the lighting,
it's
like,
very
it's
serious,
darker, right? And it's like the light is like you can see like all of the actors' faces, right? And it's like very much so like you could hear a pin drop on it, right? And then like it sort of like zooms in on him a bit, and like you can tell like
he crosses his leg,
whoever the fucking son is.
He first crosses his legs like, you know, like a woman, and then he like stops and like recrosses them, and it shows the pink socks. And like in a different scene that would be a gag, but then in this scene it's just like, oh, this is another thing you need to be ashamed of, and like you're back in the closet. That is so fucking tough. Yeah.
And like when they mention it too, and he says something like, oh, like I need a little color, or like something to that effect. It's like, damn. But the line there that like really hit me, and I think he did a like perfect line reading for it, was he was like, well, you know, like, is this not enough? Like am I not straight enough? Like I look just like them, you know, I talk like them.
He says something like, you think it's even worse now that I'm trying, or he says something like that.
Something like that. Yeah,
and it's like it's devastating because you know, of course, like there's a whole. Right. This movie has this opening that sets the scene of like, oh, we're in a progressive time. This is a progressive area. They can be out. They can have drag. They can do drag, like, and have their own like complex emotional relationship and romantic relationship that isn't just like we're in the closet and we have to hide or so, you know. But it kind of has this like utopian feel to it, especially, and then like for it to have this conflict is really. I'm actually tearing up a little bit because, like, at the end, when they do drag, which, like, I have it here.
I love that scene. That was so fun. Anyway,
when they open the door, when Gene Hackman goes to like storm off at the end, the dad, and he opens the door and the reporters are all like right there and they start calling his name. It was like a fucking dolly zoom. Like, you know the scene in Jaws when Roy Scheider's sitting on the beach and like he sees the first shark attack with his own eyes, and it like the camera zooms in at him and it looks really crazy. That was me on my couch being like, they're gonna do drag to get Gene Hackman out of here. I was like, this is what this is gonna be. But I felt so like like sometimes a well executed comedy or like any kind of like happy or upbeat movie, especially one around like themes of acceptance or something, like when that like concert of like euphoric, like all of the pieces are coming together and they're gonna pull it off, and like, you know, the character has accepted that this is a not the worst thing in the world, like all of those types of things just coming together at the end. I was like, I had goosebumps. I was like, this is so great. This is like thrilling. I love that feeling.
It's like it's like a 1-2 because like you get that like emotional gut punch of like Nathan Lane, and like he's trying his hardest, and then like we get through the whole dinner, right? And we get to hear like his like unfiltered thoughts where where she is like telling Gene Hackman like, hey, like actually, you know, yada 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 yada. And Gene Hackman's like agreeing with her and like, hey,
it's
like,
so funny.
I wish I had a woman like this, you know?
When he's
like, they don't make women like that anymore.
Yeah, Nathan Lane's like, I think we should just kill the mother too. You know, whatever. It's too It's like, it's such funny, sharp satire.
Then they can't go out and get an abortion afterwards. I was like, that's so good. It's like such cutting satire. It's perfect.
I mean, they name drop Jonathan Swift and the, you know, modest proposal of like taking an argument to its logical extreme, and so.
Right, yes. Yeah. Give me just 1 second. I gotta see what Kita's up to.
Yeah.
You can keep talking, sorry.
All good. So for that character to basically be mocking Gene Hackman with this like satirical like extremity or extreme, you know, political positions, and he's just eating it up. He's like, oh, finally someone says it like it is. It's so funny.
Yeah, finally someone's sensible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to see if Kita had gotten out. She's meowing weird.
Yeah. But the when they first sit down and Gene Hackman starts going long about like the country, he's like, in Nebraska, beautiful mountains, Pennsylvania too, and he just like names half the states.
yeah. They just go through, and like he's like, oh yeah, and the leaves up in Pennsylvania, you know, when it gets to fall.
Ohio's beautiful not bad foliage. Too, though. Yeah.
It's not bad too. Got the pine up there. Like,
it's so fucking funny, and like. Such a good way of illustrating that this guy is a complete blowhard, and also this is the most boring family of all time. Like it's great. It's really effective. So
it's also I don't know. I think that this movie, again, like sort of lending it to the like Thanksgiving movie thing. Mm-hmm. It's such a great like retort to so many of these arguments, which are still like made today, right? Like the exact same arguments rehashed today, with the same amount of vitriol.
It's a very
not
prescient
more than they had previously. Yeah. And so it's crazy how well this movie is just like the social standards and social stigmas of the time still apply to today. 30 years later, 29 years later, it's crazy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually, well,
go ahead. No. I'll cut it.
Maybe cut this.
I'm not cutting.
One of my aunts.
No, go ahead.
One of my aunts is like she's big into softball. She has a lot of friends that she does like housework for and whatnot. And it's such a shame. She dated a woman when she was younger, and then like no one else since, like ever. And I think like most of the family is like, all right, well, like they kind of think she's gay, but like she would never say that. And I mean, I haven't asked her about it, but I did talk to one of her sisters, another one of my aunts, about it, and they were like, yeah, I don't know, I just never really talked about it. And I'm like, guys, like, is this like a functioning family? Like, because it was like a big deal when it was a big deal when my cousin got married because he was gay, and I think like one of our shared uncles was like very against that at the time, and he's sort of come around since. But like it was so weird. I mean, this was like right as gay marriage was being legalized. So like it was like, I don't know, it was such like a tough time, and it was so weird to like be in, because like we were at like the wedding like after party or whatever, and like a couple of my uncles were
reception.
There, and I was like, the reception. Sorry. Yes, that's what I was thinking of. I think it was like one of my uncles that was not there in particular. I was like, oh, like why is he here? And like, oh, like he just doesn't agree with this. And I was like, he doesn't agree with the wedding?
What are you talking about?
Why
not? Yeah.
Well, yeah. I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, this is awesome. Timmy's got married. What's the big deal? But it's also, I mean, it makes like looking back on that and being like, oh, okay, so like the issues today are like the same issues,
the same ones
that were present then a decade ago, which are the same issues that were present 30 years ago, right?
When this movie came out.
Yeah, and it's just crazy how like people just, I don't know, the level of acceptance that people have is just so insane. Like I don't know. And then not to make this like a political thing, but like so many conservatives like to say, oh, like oh, I can be hated for my beliefs, but I can't hate other people for their beliefs. And it's like, right, because your belief is that other human beings should be killed for who they are, right?
And my belief is that nuclear is good, actually. I'm supportive of nuclear,
But like, and other people's beliefs are that they should live and be able to live as who they are, right? It's like, man, I really wonder why you're not making friends like that, huh? It's weird. It's really weird, isn't it?
I am estranged from my parents, and I oftentimes, like, you know, my family was very homophobic. I mean, bigoted in general, but homophobic growing up. And I was just, as you said that, like, you know, you had a gay cousin and you're like a maybe gay aunt, whatever. I don't have any, I was like going through, I was like, I'm the gay cousin. I'm the gay cousin that doesn't talk to the family. I just like had that light bulb moment. And like, we
still talk to Timmy, by the way. Everyone in the family does.
Hell yeah.
As far as I'm aware, everyone.
Shout out Timmy. So. Send him this podcast. Tell him to follow us on Blue Sky.
I will. I actually will. I'll hit him up on Facebook. I'll be like, hey Timmy, I hope you're doing well.
Hey Timmy, we shouted you out. Yeah.
Yeah. Check out my podcast. And it'll be like, why the fuck is this kid sending me his podcast?
But I remember my dad especially bringing up like homophobic arguments or whatever, like some of the ones that they use in this movie. And now looking back, I'm like, oh, they were sussing me out. Like they were, you know, my parents sent me to finishing school. Like they definitely were like, oh yeah, we know what's going on here. Like I remember my dad being,
do we get him to the nunnery? Like, does that work? Like, what are the options?
I mean, hey, if Ophelia's there. Little Hamlet joke for you, for those in the audience, the Shakespeare friends.
Didn't get it. Haven't seen Hamlet in years. So I was singing the song Ophelia, whoever it's by.
Yeah, I remember when Katy Perry came out with that "Kissed a Girl."
I kissed a girl. Yeah, I liked it.
I remember my dad being like, it was on the radio, and him being like, don't you just think that's so gross? And like looking back at it now, I remember being like, I don't know, like I'm 10 years old. Or
I don't know, I kiss a girl.
Yeah, right. But I like now I'm like, oh yeah, they were sus. They had my number, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
go
ahead.
The one time. And this is just because it's a radio memory. The one time my mom like ever had the radio on in the car, because I was like, oh hey, can we like please listen to music? It's in like second grade or something, and it oh fuck, the don't you wish your girlfriend was like me? Yeah,
classic.
That song was on, and Mom was like, this is way too vulgar. I can't believe they play this on the radio, and she turned it off, and I never once heard fucking like the radio on in the car ever again.
Ever again.
Ever, bro. Ever.
To be fair to her, that is maybe the music video that like created the stigma around.
No,
I know
she's
that it was
never
the radio.
seen the music video.
I know.
It. It's not a visual medium.
It's a relatively raunchy song. Like it's definitely
a raunchy
villain,
song, but like
it's a villainous song if you're like a conservative, like moral panic pilled, whatever. Like,
oh, my mom's not conservative. She just, well, I guess she is kind of, but
yeah,
she's very accepting for a conservative, I guess I'll say.
Sure. That album cover is like, I'll cut this dead air. No.
Okay.
Hang on. Give me a sec. I gotta Google something real quick.
Okay.
That album cover for that Pussycat Dolls single is the Rosetta Stone for like a whole generation of eating disorders, because if you look at it, they are photoshopped so skinny and like their arms are missing. They like Photoshop their arms out so that they look skinnier. Do you know which album cover I'm talking about?
It's like 2D lines. No, I actually don't. But
hang on, I will Google it for you. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so like, I remember at the time being like, wow, and it's just all body check. Wow. Like it's like it invented body checking, like this album cover. But they like,
oh my god, Jesus. No, because the girl like center right there.
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro. Like, please, hello.
Anyway, I'll make this.
Like those rib cages, you just don't need any of that. I'll just get rid of that right there.
I know you were about to talk about Gene Hackman, but real quick before we do, how is it possible that he looks like this in this movie, and only 3 years earlier he's so in Unforgiven? Like, it's crazy. Like how I get that it's styling, but I'll believe that.
I think that was one that I said that I didn't really find him attractive in Lane.
No, you didn't. That was the one
making fun of you for. Yeah, that was the one that we posted in the group chat to get a definitive answer for, Lane.
Did I put that in the group chat? I don't think I let that escape containment from this podcast.
Maybe not.
I believed it in real life too. Anyway. Go on. You wanted to talk more about the end scene of him in drag.
Yeah. He says something along the lines of like, "Oh, I don't want to be the only one here not
the
getting
only girl not getting
something
it
like that."
Yeah, without a partner.
Yeah. Which was fun. I like that. That was cute. Yeah.
When they
when he goes up to the reporter and he's like, "Hey, meet me on the corner of yada yada yada."
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, right."
The part of at the end that made me laugh the hardest, and this, I just had this experience. I went to a dance lesson to learn bachata with a friend of mine, and we both had the same problem that Albert and like Nathan Lane and Gene Hackman do, where they like, Albert walks up and is like, "Care to dance, baby?" And they go to like grab hands, but then they both are going for the wrong hand because they're both playing the wrong role. Yeah, because like, he's in drag and Albert's not used to dancing as a man. And so they both go for like the opposite, hand holding positions or whatever. That made me laugh out loud. It's just a tiny funny moment that just, it just adds another layer to it. It's so good.
Yeah.
I have more notes, obviously, but I think the one thing I really need to make sure that we talk about is Hank Azaria, who, I'm about to blow Ricky's mind. Ricky's about to fucking lose.
I've heard this name like many times.
So
before.
He plays Agador. So he plays the assistant.
Oh yeah.
Hank Azaria's. Well, do not Google him yet. Don't Google him.
Okay.
He's also in Heat. He plays the boyfriend.
What?
He plays the boyfriend of the Diane Venora character, the one that gets like, where Pacino says, "And she's got a great ass." That. Yeah. That's Hank Azaria.
Okay. Yeah.
Hank Azaria also plays like 50% of the characters on The Simpsons.
Oh, that's where I know the name from.
Yes.
Yeah, because I see. Oh, now I can see it. Yeah. I can literally picture the fucking words on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I thought you'd like that.
Oh, he's Mo. He does Mo's voice. Yeah.
I think he does.
Mo is very
Chief
similar to
Wiggum.
his like normal voice. Yeah.
So he does a bunch of characters. So, yeah, he does a great job in this role. It could be, the kind of thing where a straight actor is playing a gay character, but he kind of blends in pretty well. The scene where he can't walk in the shoes, like, just such a funny touch. Like, what? Like,
yeah. I'm also very glad that you brought The Simpsons into this.
Oh God!
Because I have a tangent for the next movie related to The Simpsons.
Oh,
so
thank God. Well,
not this one.
My last important note here from the Birdcage is that movies used to just end. Old movies used to just like they would wrap up. There was no like and explaining and like and this movie's not even that old. But they really did.
There was no like. Transformers send off at the end where they play fucking Linkin Park to see us out. Like, we don't need any of it.
There's no like little scene afterward of Robin Williams and the son being like, and you know what? We learned a valuable lesson here. It's gonna be okay, kid. Like, fuck you. Yeah. In and out. Great.
Yeah.
All right. What about The Simpsons and All About My Mother?
So the play that they do in All About My Mother is
Streetcar Named Desire. Yes.
A Streetcar Named Desire, which I have not seen before, but they parody in The Simpsons a streetcar named Marge.
Yeah.
Stella. Yes. And they do a streetcar named Marge. Excellent episode, by the way. Really, really great. Especially, I love the Marge centric episodes. I think they're really great. I don't know. I love the side. I like any side character episode. I don't know. The Homer episodes are fine, but I like it when they break it up a bit. And it's a really, really good up. It's really funny, and it's the only, like, outside of this movie now, it's the only way that I know like Streetcar Desire and like the general like plot.
A Streetcar Named Desire. Yes.
Oh, right. A Streetcar Named Desire. Yeah. I don't know. I found it funny. Like I felt that particular. There was nothing else about that. I'm just saying, like, that is like a tangent that I had in my head, and I was like, oh, I want to mention this. I think it's funny that that's like my like cultural touchstone. I haven't seen the play, but I've seen like two things like related to it.
I see.
But yeah,
that's interesting. I feel like I might have watched it in school. I feel like, or no, maybe because I don't think I read the play in school. Maybe I did. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I did like the Shakespeare stuff in school, but nothing.
The Shakespeare stuff.
Yeah,
classic like Marlon Brando playing a drunk. That's A Streetcar Named Desire. I mean, there's a lot more to that. Not to like boil down this like very important American text. But,
because it's like a classic, right?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's not my absolute favorite. I do like. Was that a burp?
It was. I kept it in. I didn't open my mouth for it. Yeah.
You sounded like a velociraptor. That was crazy.
Descended from one.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's. We can't keep doing this.
What do you mean?
We just can't keep doing this.
He can't keep getting away with it.
Yes. Tennessee Williams, who I think I mentioned last episode because I mentioned him as one of the... Honestly, you want to talk about movies all being connected. I mentioned, because Boys in the Band, I said, is like a play, and I love the mid-century, like Tennessee Williams and, fuck. Why can't I think of who wrote Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf right now? Edward Albee. Anyway, so like a lot of those like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, like those types of like, mid-century, like super dramatic, realistic plays. I like those. So, Streetcar is like the most famous, I think, mostly because of Marlon Brando, and because it's got so many crazy scenes that you just like are iconic. But, it's fine. Maybe we'll watch it someday. Have you seen any Marlon Brando movies? Well, I guess The Godfather.
Think so. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
The one. Okay. Well, maybe someday we'll watch it or watch something. But no, what did you think of the motif of, I mean, I know it's tough because you haven't seen the play, but like the theatrical, like TV and performance kind of motif throughout this movie. Like, what'd you make of that?
When I first started it, I thought they were doing something similar to Perfect Blue.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I was pretty locked in. Because I was like trying to be like, oh, okay, so like, what if this is like real life? I was like, oh, like, what if they're gonna do like a real life versus like not real life type thing? And they kind of didn't really do that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I don't know. Like, by motif, do you mean like the musical motifs that are played throughout the movie, or
No, just like there's like a lot of, obviously, like the son is a writer, and there's a lot of like people acting and performing, and what is performance and what isn't, and who is performing and when, and what does it mean to perform. And at one point there's a literal pencil writing on a camera, or writing on the camera lens in the beginning, like those types of things. Like, I feel like in the way that, let me look at our movies and see if I can think of a good comparison off the dome here. I guess in the way that like food is a motif in Eat, Drink, Man, Woman. Obviously, we know that like food and serving food and preparing food is like an important part of the plot, but it in the same way that theater is in this movie, but like it's also symbolic and like kind of commenting on the larger plot of the movie at the same time.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that kind of went over my head a bit.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
I could be making shit up. I mean,
like,
No.
I mean, I definitely see it, right? It's just like that was not like, I guess, what I was like pulling from it when I was watching it. Although, I don't know. I didn't, like, obviously, like, this is a lot more serious than the Birdcage.
That's interesting. I didn't think this movie was like so serious. I mean, obviously, like it's got serious points, but like there are funny parts, and there are very kind of not campy but melodramatic things that are larger than life.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. I mean, there's definitely parts that are still funny and fun and lighthearted. But it's just the fact that, like, I don't know, there's multiple people that die throughout the film, which kind of puts a damper on it. And it's a lot more like emotionally charged throughout the film. Like,
interesting.
I mean, I don't know. It's
we can disagree.
What's one of the?
You're allowed to disagree.
No, what's the one tagline? Like heartwarming stories and human interaction or whatever.
Humanity and the world around us. Is that the one you're?
Yeah. It's like, well, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm thinking more of like whatever the like interaction one is, or like interpersonal relationships,
moving relationship stories. That's the one.
Yes, that's the one. Like, I don't know. It's the whole movie feels like several like tragedies or like drama tragedies, sort of like piled on top of each other.
That's interesting.
And not to say that it's all like I'm not saying that it's like a very like serious movie, or which I mean, I
even
think
though
it's
you
a movie
literally
that takes
just
itself
did.
seriously. Although I literally just did. I mean, I think it's more serious.
You're allowed to disagree with me, Ricky. We can come away with two different opinions of this movie.
I know. I thought it was more serious. I did still think it was funny at points, is the thing, but like I feel like the funny parts were like the human interaction. Like I loved watching like the friends just be friends. I don't know. That's just fun. Even especially when it's like all four of them together, just sort of like bullshitting and like drinking wine and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool.
So that's, I mean, I felt the same. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't think this is like an easy breezy movie, right? But
right. Okay. Yeah.
like, I also don't think that it's like devastatingly serious either. Like,
No.
it's poignant,
No, yeah.
but it's not, you know, I guess, like, I'm trying to think of other like serious movies that I would kind of liken this to.
I think Eat, Drink, Man, Woman like sort of fits that pretty well, right? It's serious, and there are some like lighthearted moments, but it's
No,
not
that
like
movie's laugh out loud funny in a way that this movie
that
is
movie
not.
is funny
No,
sometimes. Yeah, that's true.
I
That's what I'm
would
saying. This
compare
movie's
this.
like kind of a little more serious, man. I don't know. Anyway.
No, that's well, it's not played for laughs, but it's kind of wistful or like it has like the heightened and the reason I bring up the theatricality or like that feeling is more that like I think that right in the beginning, the son and our main character are watching All About Eve together. They're watching a movie about women, like a big, and they talk about Betty Davis, and like they make a point of commenting on like that the translation isn't direct. And then at the end of the movie, the epilogue, like the written epilogue in the credits from the director is like, to all the women who've made an impression on me, all the mothers, like from Betty Davis and all the actresses, he names like 3 actresses, to like the women I know personally. Like he says something like that. And to me, it's kind of like it's almost more like Yee Yee, I would compare it to, which is not like
I was thinking that as well,
yeah.
But you know.
You're like, but you know, you didn't say it.
Well, no, I didn't say it. You're right. I didn't. He was very long, and he didn't have as many happy moments, I want to say. There's not many.
No, but it's more about life and like the people in your life than it is about like a story in the same way. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I kind of think
I mean, that's what I was trying to say earlier with the touching moments and like
this is called dialogue. Okay, we're talking through. This is the discourse of.
I get it.
This is a podcast. Yeah. Okay, we're talking through. It's a it's a recorded conversation where we.
This is the Discord of us, actually.
Yeah, this is fucking discordant to listen to, I'm sure.
It is.
But yeah,
Sorry. That's to the watchers.
You just laughed like a coworker that I don't like, and I'm uncomfortable. I'm gonna hang up.
No.
No, but so this movie is not psychologically heady in the same way, and like there are definitely poignant moments, but it's when Penelope Cruz dies, I'm not like, oh, like I'm not moved in the same way that I would be by like, you know. So no, I think that the point of this is heightening these female characters, these mothers, to these emotionally like melodramatic or like stylized almost like archetypes of mothers, and kind of paying homage to them. That was my takeaway of like why the theatrical like motif or like setting is to tie into this. You know, obviously the director loves movies. Like it's if he's paying homage in the movie to another movie. I have not seen All About Eve, but you know, that's kind of the takeaway I got from it. So,
yeah. No, I mean, I like that. I mean, I definitely like that take for sure. And I think we agree a lot about the movie. It's just not
stake a claim, Ricky. Stake a claim. Just say that you disagree. Say.
I mean, it's not that I disagree. It's just that was not like what I immediately picked up from the movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I definitely did see it like. I think I mentioned this with Yee Yee. Like that's like a sort of like you get to see like a bunch of like lives entwining, like a ball of twine.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, and like this movie feels like sort of similar to that, but there's like we have the byline, and the byline like across it is theater, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in like Yee Yee, it was the family, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, and like I think this movie does like similar things where we get to see like very deep glances into people's lives on occasion.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of people's names. I watched this movie a decent bit before the Birdcage, so it's been like a week since I watched this. But
yeah,
the one woman who gets introduced later, who has HIV and she sees her dad with Alzheimer's.
Yeah, Rosa. That's Penelope Cruz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Or
yeah.
none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Like seeing her like see her dad and like they have that like weird little back and forth and then you're like, oh, like
he has
like
dementia.
Alzheimer's. Like he just doesn't recognize her. Like, oh, that's fucked. And it's, I mean, it's super interesting because I feel like that's like a lot of the same ways that you sort of get like glimpses of people's like internal lives in real life, right? Is that like sometimes you'll just like see like deeper stuff and you're like, oh moment. Shit, like yeah, and it's like, oh wow, like I didn't know that's like what they were going through. So like I felt a lot of that at like different points during this movie where I was like, oh fuck, like yeah, damn, like they're really going through it with X, Y, or Z, right?
Yeah, I like that too. I mean, the performance kind of like nature of it does mean that there are a lot of scenes of people kind of giving like monologues, which I think the high point of this movie is when La Grotto gives her little like monologue at the end of like authenticity.
At the end, yes. Yeah.
That was like, I was like locked in. I was like, oh, this is like the movie's like high point. But there are a lot of
like gamer lean forward point of this
movie. Yeah, absolutely. But there are many moments like that throughout this whole thing of like people kind of giving these like short monologues, kind of either to the like either to another character or to the audience in these performances, and you're obviously like getting there's multiple layers. There's like a subtextual element to where these characters are and their past experiences that they're alluding to. That's very, I think impressive and layered and touching. In a way, I gotta say, the only other movie I've seen by Almodóvar, I did not like. I hated it. I straight up I fucking hated it. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of the most disappointing watches I've had, but I don't know if that's because I was just so turned off by the direction of the subject matter, or if it was because my expectations were so different, or what. But that movie was a horror movie about. I won't get into it, but it has some like extremely transphobic. I don't know. At least my reading of it was like, this is a very like, I don't know, transmisogynistic kind of like take on some plot points. I don't know. I would want to revisit it now, knowing that apparently this director doesn't necessarily have a problem with like women, maybe in the same way. I don't know. I would have to revisit, but
I mean, I don't think the director has a problem with women or trans people. I mean, at least
no, that's what. Yeah,
from this movie, right? Like I did not sense any malice here, right? Like,
yeah. But okay, I'm gonna spoil this movie that you're never gonna watch. I don't think. I'm gonna spoil, but like, it's basically
what movie? First off,
this is called the Skin I Live In. Is the name of it. So, it's a movie about a guy. I won't spoil the whole thing, I guess, but a plastic surgeon basically kidnaps a man who raped his daughter and slowly force femmes him into being a different woman. And I just found it to be so sensationalistic. Like the horror elements were so focused on like the, oh God, wouldn't it be terrible to become a woman and to be a trans woman? Isn't being a trans woman like the most monstrous thing? I found it to be, like shockingly like regressive for a movie that came out in the 2010s. And then, I don't know, I did not like it at all. But now that I've seen this movie and I have a little more context, maybe with a different lens, I would revisit it and see different things. That's certainly possible, but I was pleasantly surprised by how much I liked this movie.
Yeah. This might be crazy. It is crazy. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
This is wild. But I was reading something the other day about how Mary Shelley's Frankenstein was actually that Frankenstein, he was creating the monster to fuck, essentially, right? Like he was creating life right? But he wanted a partner. He wanted something like substantial. And then when he had created it, he realized, oh wait, like this thing is my son. And he was like, fuck, this sucks, man.
Interesting.
And I don't know. It was someone's take on it, and I read a bit of it, and I was like, I don't know how much I agree with this. But I do have a bookmark because I wanted to like actually like read through it later.
That's interesting.
But yeah, it was just.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I don't. I mean, the last time I read that was over a decade ago in high school, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I like sort of missed that subtext, which I feel like would have been pretty easy to miss. But it definitely at least makes sense to me, because I never really got the whole "it's alive" like yeah, it's alive, like you're trying to make life, bro. And like the horror that he has with it, with the monster that he creates. It's like, yeah, I mean, like I that's always sort of been like, all right, like, yeah, dude, like that's your monster, you just made it, right? So the whole like him,
I'm about to break
like,
out
doing
into
like
a
a weird
sweat
science
stop
thing.
talking. Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I
Like,
just
him
have
doing,
so
like,
many
a weird
thoughts about
science
this.
thing, and then being like, oh fuck, but like I've made, like, this is my child, like, oh fuck, like what am I gonna do now? Anyway. Yeah.
Well, right. Okay. Wow. This is so crazy. I have like.
Yeah, well, yeah, dude.
I'm seeing sounds.
What's going on?
So, the first thing is that.
Anesthesia.
Do you remember the monologue that Meryl Streep says to Anne Hathaway in Devil Wears Prada, where she's like, "You think your cerulean blue sweater is like outside of the choices of fashion,
Yes.
but Ricky,
yeah.
you think your little tweets are outside the zeitgeist of moviedom, but really there are 2 fucking versions of Frankenstein coming out in the next like 6 months by big name directors, and that is why you're seeing fucking Frankenstein discourse on your Twitter dashboard. So just so you know,
Cool.
It's all related.
I don't think I'm outside
you can't
of it.
Distance
I don't think
yourself
I'm outside
from
of it, by the way.
the industry. I know.
We constantly talk about how movies and how movies affect the Twitter sphere, and I try to work that into the conversation when I can.
I know.
That's
you
cool,
do.
Though.
I know.
I didn't know they had movies coming out. Yeah,
we should maybe watch one of
coming out.
them or maybe both for an episode.
I'm down. If it comes out around Halloween, that'd be kind of perfect for Hooptober.
I'm pretty sure, because one of them is Guillermo del Toro.
I feel like they have to. Okay, yeah.
So I know one of them is coming out on Netflix. Anyway, setting aside that, the second thing is that we need to watch Ken Branagh's Frankenstein adaptation, because I think that's one of the most effective Frankenstein movies. There aren't a lot of Frankenstein movies, but like, you know, you do think like, yeah, of course it's alive. Duh, you did this. You were doing, that was what the whole point was. But I think the visceral horror of like, oh, not only have I now played God and like I have this immense power, but then like, oh, and I fucked up. Like I think that is what's striking. And like the Ken Branagh version does a really good job, I think, of the grotesquerie of it all. Like, so do you know who plays the monster in it?
No.
Robert De Niro. And they and they do a really good job of making him look gross from like the neck down. Like he looks like really like he looks like a dead body, you know, or like a bunch of dead body parts.
Yeah.
But then like his face, he's basically just got like a cleft lip, and you're kind of like this is just a guy. Like we don't need to react this way.
Yeah.
He doesn't really look that horrifying when you're looking at his face. He kind of just looks like a dude. But I've never heard that take of like he was trying to create a monster to fuck. I want to find the
thread now. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it on Doll Twitter? Was this a?
I don't know what Twitter it was on. But I definitely did. Like when I watched it, my take on it was like, oh, like it is like the creation of life is like. I mean, especially in like a non-organic way, is just like fucked, right? It's like, all right, well, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's also why I think like AI is like. I did a jacking off motion for those of you watching at home. This is not a visual media, because it's like I don't know.
Yeah, it's truly Frankensteining a bunch of stolen shit together and making a terrible amalgam. Yeah, that's what AI is. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, but it's. I mean, yeah. The stealing is like sure, fine. I, I don't know. I could say a lot of things about that, which I'm not going to, but
I'm so sick of
for me, it's
it. Not from you, but just in general.
Yeah. It's the conceit of these guys to be like, oh, like, not only can we create something that's conscious, it will be, like, better than every human out there. It's like, great, man. Like, you really think so?
How can that be possible? Right. How can something be better how can something that's built off of all of human behavior be better than humans? Like, how, like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Which is why I'm not going to get into it.
We can't get into this. It pisses me off. The way people talk about it is like magic. It's like Frankenstein. Like the lightning will strike the body and then it'll just come to life. Like, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Like, that's how people treat it. It's like a magic box. Like,
anyway. And it's like, I don't know. We can get into like deterministic or non-deterministic like values.
We can't talk about this. We can't talk about this.
Spirit, like what it means.
We're
to be
so
conscious,
fucking
yada,
far
yada.
from. We're so far.
Yeah. Let's just cut that there. Anyway, back to All About My Mother. Not about my mother, but the movie.
But real quick about Frankenstein, I like Mary Shelley. Like, she was like a freak. She was like complimentary. So I can kind of see the idea of like, in the act of sex, you know, like so much of the thrill of sex is the prospect of creation, and I can see like a reading of that, of like getting your wires crossed and being like, oh, I've created a son in this like sexual thrill, like, and now I don't know how to deal with it. Like, I can definitely see a reading of that, even if that's not what she was intending. But, you know, I'm sure, you know, like I said, she was.
That's a large part of the reason why, like, when I read the like beginning of the thread, I was like, you know what, I could lend some validity to this. Just based off of the idea that like she's writing this at a sleepover, and like just like everyone's together, they're all like they're like writing fanfics together, and it's like like they're like showing off who has like the crazier fic, and it's like all right, I could got her, like having written this, a little bit of the sauce, ancient AO3, you know.
Have you ever seen the old Frankenstein, like the one from the 30s?
I don't know. I've seen a Frankenstein movie, maybe more than one. I just don't really remember them at all.
Was it the black and white one? Like, was it black and white?
I think, yeah.
Then it was probably the one.
It was probably the one, yeah.
It's upsetting. He kills a little girl. Yeah. Spoilers for 100 years old. Like, and they, like, to show that in the 30s, like, you know, they were freaking out. Like, you know, especially the way Boris Karloff looked. Like, it was cool.
They were getting ready to head up to the North Pole and fight him themselves, right?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. That movie, and when I was really young, like before I was in middle school, really, I wanted to be a special effects, like, movie artist.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, not like a visual effects, but like a...
no, like a John Carpenter
practical.
Style. Yeah.
Yeah. And a big part of it was seeing the makeup transformations that like Boris Karloff and like some of those older like Hollywood actors did. So fucking crazy. Yeah. Anyway, little Lane lore for you. Classic.
A little Lane lore drop.
Anyway, all right, back to All About My Mother. Now that we've had like a 40-minute tangent about Frankenstein. One thing I wanted to talk about. So I did just mention kind of the plot of The Skin The Skin I Live In. There's a lot of like medical stuff in this movie in the same way that there is in that movie. That movie makes kind of like horror or like horrific kind of imagery out of medical whatever, like procedures.
Yeah, paraphernalia or whatever. Yeah.
And here it is a lot. It's definitely like meant to be somber and kind of grounding whenever I feel like any medical stuff is on screen. But then you have La Grotto talking about, and actually, honestly, all of them, like many times throughout the movie, talking about like, I had this procedure and that procedure, and I had my eyebrows lifted, and this cost $20,000. And like, so it's kind of interesting the contrast between like, you know, the scenes of Penelope Cruz, and obviously she's a nurse. Our main character, Manuela, is a nurse in the beginning. So she's, you know, kind of surrounded by these like heart transplants and like carrying these organs back and forth. Like there's a lot of like, you know, viscerality and somberness to those scenes. And then for it to be these tossed off like Oh yeah, and I had my boobs done. Like they talk about getting their like a boob job like 45 times. That's like the signifier for like this person's transition is like before she had boobs. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean I did like this movie. I did find it I guess I said earlier it wasn't like an easy breezy, whatever watch, but it was very watchable. And like I went into this thinking like, because I watched the Birdcage first, because that was chronologically the order, which is how we agreed to watch these, if you don't remember. But I was like, oh, I'm going to have to watch this kind of serious movie about a dead kid. And like, I just came off the Birdcage. But the tone and kind of like, visual style of this movie and obviously like the melodrama of the performances kept it very it went by very quickly. It did not feel like a slog the way that a serious movie could.
Yeah. So that's also why I was like kind of hesitant to call it like fully serious, because it's, again, like I don't know, we've been sort of back and forth with that, but yeah. And you mentioned earlier like the play-like aspects, and you mentioned before about the actors like sort of monologuing either directly to another character or directly to the camera. I kind of love that. I love shit that's like play like, and especially like the drama, like I don't know. I mean I like everything's drama in the movie, I guess, but
and there's so much. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say when characters are like monologuing to each other, right? Or like even in dialogue and like going back and forth when it's like very concentrated, it I don't know, it feels weighty, and it feels like you're watching actors like on a stage, sort of like going back and forth, and it's like a strongly emotional, not ploy, but like I think the way that the scenes are set up, and just like the way that the characters sort of like, or the actors breathe life into the characters and sort of like interact with each other is
there. Yes, the interactions between each other, I think, is the real thing. Like the kind of like web of connecting them is the thing where it makes the movie feel greater than just like a soap opera, because it's elevated, it's stylized, but you get these like strong kind of like command of performances and emotions there that make it they feel more lived in. They, like you said, they breathe life into these characters together, so it isn't just like, oh, and then this person is parented both of these kids and the one kid's dead and now the parent is dead and both parents are dead and we're adopting it. Like it's way crazy when you talk about it in like plot terms, but like when you're watching it you just kind of like go with the flow, because you're like, oh yeah, all these characters feel like people I would know, and they have depth to them, and the performances feel, even though they're melodramatic, they're watchable. They don't feel crazy.
And you mentioned that they're like characters that like you feel like but you also feel like the characters know each other, right? Like when they're greeting each other, it's not like a it's not,
hey,
it doesn't feel
Ricky,
awkward. It feels very,
how are you?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's not awkward. It's not robotic. It's very snappy. It's very like genial.
Yeah.
And like there's a great rapport. And I don't know. I don't want to use the same phrase again, but the artists in Artisan Song, like with the Birdcage. I mean, obviously very, very sort of different how they're playing off of each other, because Birdcage are more playing off of, I guess, like previous expectations and emotions.
Sure.
In like a positive way, like emotions being like, oh, like funny moments. Where here they are playing off of each other, but they are playing off of like the emotions of each other and like how you feel watching them. Like I don't know, it's cool.
Yeah,
and it also it keeps that like quick pace. This was also a movie that, I mean, you said it didn't feel like a slog, and it definitely doesn't. This movie was what, 2 hours or something?
100 minutes maybe. Yeah,
and it's tight. Like it's, I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's like anything you could really remove at all. Like there's you're moving from scene to scene.
It's grown on me even since I watched it. I definitely, like, I finished it and I was like, oh, that was nice. And then now, since I've thought about it, I really it has grown in my esteem over the last few days. So yeah, I'm glad we watched it. Although we just talked all about those like theater like motif, and I should have paired this movie with one of our next two. That would have been if I had known.
Now that you mention it, yeah. Fuck.
Damn,
although,
I suck.
I do think that I don't know. I feel like these
Yeah.
movies, although like different in tone, right, and intention, like just with pacing, they feel like they're snappy. They both feel very snappy, right? Like they have a story to tell and they tell it, and I like that a lot with movies, right? Like I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I also do like a sort of, you know what, fuck it. I like all movies. I don't know, man. Sorry.
Is there a movie you don't like?
I know, it's going to be like, I also kind of like movies that ponder. And I like movies that sort of just take their own path, you know? And then I'm like, I sound like a fucking idiot. I just like all movies and just fucking sitting here like, yeah, you know.
That's okay. I like most
bowl
movies.
of popcorn?
It's
Sure,
fine.
I like movies too.
I mean, the alternative is that you don't like movies, and then it's like, why are you watching movies? Go read a book. Go do anything else. Like,
yeah.
Although I do one day would love to make a supercut of you going, liked it. That's my Ricky impression. If someone is like, do a Ricky impression, there's two lines I go to. It's either, well, you know, I'm just a little guy, or liked it. Yeah. Those are your two catchphrases. If you pull the string on the back of your fucking head, that's what comes out of your mouth.
And then like you're pulling it, and then it just goes back to well, like I already got this one. You keep going, and it's just like
doesn't this fucker say anything else? This tickle me
every so often you get a bet, and you're like, oh, thank Christ! Like there are more lines.
I like getting made fun of. Mm-hmm. Like I'm cool with being the court jester. No one ever impersonates me. I never get impersonated. Like people never do that. Why? Am I impersonable?
One of one.
Well, true, but thank you. But like, what is it? I feel like I have a distinct voice. Like I feel like I have, because of like my accent. Like I feel like I don't know. I feel like I could be made fun of, but I don't. Like people don't make fun of me for it. I don't know.
I don't feel like you have that distinct of a voice or accent. I'm not great with that stuff. I don't think you have any like catchphrases. Right? Yeah.
I'm sure I do.
I know you do. I can't think of them offhand.
Fair.
Which is why I can't think of you having any catchphrases, right? Like
watchers, get at me. I'll have to ask Christopher. I bet Christopher could like mock me, but he would never do it, you know, because he's too nice.
Yeah. I feel like you could do an impression though. Be like, oh, like do like your best impression of me, and like give him puppy dog eyes.
I don't think he could.
Really bad about it too.
I don't think he would be able to. I don't think he'd be able to conjure it. But like I couldn't do a Chris now that I think about it. I don't think I could. I would need like a prompt, I guess.
Chris has distinct mannerisms. You could do like
he does.
Chris in game, right? Like pick a character that Chris has done in game, and you could pretty easily like do a Chris impression of that character, right?
Chris isn't like a person to do an impression of. Chris has like a list of vocabulary flashcards. Like Chris has words that he like if you're gonna do an impression of him, you have to like hit certain words.
There was one time I did a Chris impression, which was like it was so spot on, and it was with Cy, Tom, and Chris, and we were all out on your porch. And I remember doing it, and like they're like, "Whoa, that's actually like not bad." Yeah. I'm trying to think of what I did. I think it was around the time that because we were doing the Penumbra unit, and he was doing his Blinks character, his Blinks a lot character, and like like very very easy to sort of like riff off of that. But I did like an impression of just Chris, but it was like heavily based off of like what he had been doing the last couple of weeks with that character. And I was like, oh man, this is but it did have like a trigger word, right? Like you're talking about like it needs like a word. It did have a trigger, like I forget what it was, but it was something that he would. I mean, you know how he gets like into stuff. It was like something that he was like really into then. And like, oh, fuck, I can't remember it. I mean, that was years ago, but still, it was fun.
I'll ask him and get him to do a type 10 in character.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Excuse me. We want to say about either of these two good movies?
No, I liked them both.
Okay. I liked them. All right, next next two Pride picks. It's a decent rip. Our next two. Do you want to introduce these? Since you want to keep harping into the. If you want to.
Maybe you should.
Okay.
Oh no! I found it.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Our first one. You watched one of them last night. Is what's crazy.
I didn't end up watching it.
You didn't. Okay. Our first of two is Brokeback Mountain from 2005, directed by Ang Lee, and the second is Theater Camp from 2023, directed by Nick Lieberman and Molly Gordon. Brokeback is playing in theaters. I don't remember when this episode is coming out. Give me 1 second here. This episode should be coming out on the 13th, and I believe the following weekend, so the weekend of the 20th.
This episode is coming out?
Yay! Good for this episode. Brokeback Mountain's playing in theaters in a limited release the weekend of the 20th, I believe, so after this episode comes out. So if you want to wait, like the Brokeback episode should be coming out basically the weekend that this movie will be in theaters again, if you want to wait, watchers. Anyway, we don't get that luxury. We got to watch it at home because we got to record this episode before then. But seminal gay movie, Theater Camp, a movie that you wanted to watch for some fucking reason because it came up when you searched gay movies, I'm guessing.
I can't believe this is crazy because I recommended this and this was a movie that you said you liked, wasn't it? Or
Theater Camp? I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which I'll bleep. Okay. Bleeping.
Bleeping.
Which will be our 100th movie when we watch that. But not yet.
Oh, yeah.
So first we got to get through Brokeback Theater Camp. Theater Mountain Camp.
Brokeback Camp?
Broke Camp
Theater Mountain.
Theater back.
Broke theater.
Back Camp broke.
Back Camp Mountain.
The hash slinging. God, we're so unfunny.
Crash bringing.
I'm excited. I have not seen Brokeback Mountain. It's supposed to be one of the best fucking movies of the last 20 years. It's actually 20th anniversary of this movie coming out.
Yo, shit, let's go. Oh.
Yeah. So, Heath Ledger, there's that whole thing.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
He was the Joker.
Wait, really? Do you want to sing I Kissed a Girl? Do you want to sing... Is there a Joker song?
I kissed a girl and I liked it. Is there a Joker song?
The taste of his slashed open mouth. I don't know.
I kissed the Joker and I liked it. Kissed the taste of his slashed mouth and weird face paint.
Cherry ass stick. I don't know. I was trying to rhyme with cherry chapstick.
See, if we were doing Harvey Dent, we could do Two-Face. I kissed Two-Face and I liked it. Taste of his shriveled burned lips. Right? That one kind of just flows off the tongue. I don't know if they're going for the Joker with that. Lips. Yeah, because half of his lips are, shriveled and burned. Yeah.
I know people make the joke about this all the time, but I can't watch The Dark Knight anymore in that scene where the Joker is dressed as the nurse while Harvey Dent's in the hospital. Thanks for taking the mask off.
That's what I was thinking of when I was like doing the brain blast connection.
Conjuring. Yeah.
I could just think of like that scene right there where they're talking to each other. I was like, well, I got it. Like, Harvey Dent's easy for that. Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, we should watch the Nolan Batmans. We should do those.
Like in a row? We should do all of them on one app. Just like watch through all of them and then just...
We should just watch all of Christopher Nolan's filmography and get it out of the fucking way. Just kidding. If we did his movies, we would skyrocket in listenership. We would have we'd have hundreds of watchers for 5 episodes. And then we would drop off the map again.
We should do Nolan right into Snyder and then just like shit all over Snyder, everything that he's made.
And hope that nobody goes back and listens to our Watchmen episode where I'm like, this is the worst movie we've ever watched for this show.
No, we hope they do that because then they would hate watch everything.
They hope we do? They do?
A package came in your what? A gingerbread dish, man? I'm trying to find that list. I feel like there's not a ton of punnable names.
No, there's not. No.
You gave an eraser what?
I thought that too. Yeah. Oh my god.
Manhunter? I hardly know her.
I'm not good at puns. I'm not. You have like the pun gene. It's like either you're punny or you're not, and I'm not. I'm just not that type of clever.
If Good Will Hunting was like... Good Will Hunting is like the ultimate like fucking superposition of a pun. Because it's like almost there, you know? You're almost... It's like yeah. Goodwill, like you're hunting for goodwill, or like Will Hunting and he's good. Like, I don't know. Almost. It's right there. Like, right there.
I'm trying to make Sean Dealman work. You did what to that Meal Catcher Brussels? Sorry.
Who framed Roger Rabbit? There's just no joke there. It's just the name of the movie. It's just no fun. No joke.
I was thinking, what about my mother? Oh my god. Okay.
Wait. A Paranord this man? Oh wait.
Go on.
I want to do one with Exorcist and like Exorcis, right? And it's like your ex or cis, right? I don't know. And I kind of want to tie it into the song. I had a boyfriend that looked like a girlfriend that you had in February of last year, right? I feel like there's some way to tie that into the cis ex thing. I don't know. I'll work it out.
You shipped my kin with who? The battleship? I couldn't make that one work.
A little too Potemkinary for you? So contemporary? I don't know.
You did what up?
What is that supposed to be?
Blow up?
Blow up, please. Piano teacher? I hardly know her. It's just the same joke again. I don't know. You did what thing?
This is not funny.
Supersize who? Yeah, at this point we're just like saying the titles of movies in an up-tilt accent, right? Like, Thief and the Cobbler, I hardly know her. I don't know. This is real bottom
what
of the
did
barrel
heaven allows?
I was trying to think of it all that heaven allows, but it's just it's all you did it all.
We've hit like 90% of our movies, which is what's crazy.
I feel like there's something there for the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like the good, the bad, and the who? You're telling me Michael clayed this time? I don't know. You're telling me Michael this ton of clay? I don't know. There's something there.
The what of the dog?
Excalibur? Whatever happened to Excalibur?
Oh my god, this is the worst ending we've ever had, hands down. And yet we're still doing it.
Secret and Lies. How about... it's not gonna make me stop. Wait a second. Crazy crossover here, right? Secret and Lies and Supersize Me? You're telling me Secret and Lies, more like Supersize My Fries, right? That's it. It's just both movies played back to back for that pun. Yeah. John dealt this man. I think that's the John Dealman one you were looking for earlier.
I was pronouncing all of the words in French in my head to try and make it work.
You croned these Christmas. I don't know. There's something there.
You blacked that swan?
That's a good one, yeah. You mysterious that skin? You tooed the smile? Who perfected this blue? It's just I'm just saying the titles of it. Okay, I'm ending this here.
More like Beyond the She.
I was trying to think of a Beyond the Sea one. I was trying to.
I know you were, because we've gone through the whole fucking. Okay, we're done. We're done. We're done. We're done.